Hi folks, it's Keith, Victor Echo 3, Sierra Victor, Quebec. Here today with another vlog or blog, whatever you want to call it, from the Shaky Key. And today I'm just going to give a very short intro to parks on the air when you're activating. So I've already done one on the hunting side or chasing side. So this is going to be a very simple video. It's not going to be very complex. People who've done a lot of parks probably aren't going to be interested, but if you've never done a park and this sort of catches your attention and intrigues you a little bit, then maybe it'll be helpful. Now, POTA divides everybody into two categories. You're either an activator or you're a hunter. I would say the vast majority of the people are probably hunters. You can hunt from your home. You can hunt from your cottage, wherever you've got your radio set up, you can hunt. And even when you're activating, people will take time out and hunt other parks because you get special bonuses for doing that. But basically, like I said, POTA divides you into hunters and activators. The majority of people are probably hunters. It's the easiest thing to do. Activating requires a bit more, and I think if you start as a hunter, before long you're going to get that urge to get out and activate your own park. So how do you do it and where do we find them? That's really what we're going to look at. Now, POTA designed this system, or this program if you want, to get people outdoors, to get people into parks. So basically we're looking at federal and provincial parks in Canada, federal and state parks in the US, and several conservation authorities, including around where I live in Ottawa as well. So when they designed this, it was, let's get you outdoors, let's get you having fun, and that's succeeded beyond anybody's expectations. To side to all of that, you're also now fully equipped to go portable if you have to. You're fully equipped if there's an emergency to get on the air. So there are side benefits to doing this as well. Now, who does it? Well, pretty much anybody. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter where you are. As long as you have a radio and the basic setup to go into a park, you can do it. There's no age limits or anything like that. You'll find there's no specific time to start, not like a contest. In a contest, you've got to start at this time, you finish at this time, and it might be 24 hours, might be 48, but that's all that's going to happen. With POTA, you can go on any time you want, and if you're chasing parks, or hunting them as it's called, you're probably going to find people on most hours of the day on some band or frequency. So when you activate is entirely up to you. It can be early morning, mid-morning, afternoon, evening, and in the summer when there's a lot of people camping, you will find people on well into the evening hours after dark. So there is no set limit for you to do that. And there's another benefit too. If you're a senior, like myself, and you've been doing ham radio for many years, and you end up selling your house and going into an apartment, or if you're young person starting off with an apartment, or if you're a senior who's gone into one of the retirement communities, a lot of them, apartments and these communities, do not allow antennas. But if you can have your basic setup, you don't have to sell all your ham radio stuff. You can still go out to a park, and you can still activate, and you can still have a lot of fun with your hobby. So what I'm going to look at here is, where do you find these? And, do you need equipment and so on? Well, check the other videos. You'll see very, very basic stuff. You don't need a tent. You don't need an RV. You don't need, a tent trailer, although there's a lot of people use them, and good for them. All you need is an ability to get to a park. So it becomes a lot of fun. So I want you to just check now. I'm going to show those who've never done it before where they can find parks and how do they get the basic information as to what park to activate, and just a little bit of that, just basic information. That's coming up right now. Now when you log into parksontheair.com, this is the screen that comes up, and I just want to point out a couple of things to you, because I'm assuming you're going to join, which is free as well, and when you do, this all becomes available as well. In the top left corner where it says the maps, you can see POTA map. Click on that. Now the map will center on where you are. So in my case, I'm down here in Metcalfe. So it shows me most of the parks that are in the local area. And so anything that's a yellow dot is an approved park. And those are the ones you can go to. They all have a VE dash and a number. Now I give you an example. Let's go down to Osgood down here, where there's a park that I use fairly frequently. Click on the dot, and it brings up the park number, Victor Echo 1638. It brings up the name. And if you click on more info, it's going to bring up quite a bit as well. So here's your basic information on the park. This park actually has a number and a website, and notice it says fee required, and we'll get into that in a little bit. You can access it by automobile or foot. Excuse me, same for your activations. First activated in October of 2020. Now if you go down the page a little bit further down, what's going to come up are the stats for the park. So you have 22 activations and 26 attempts. A total of 481 QSOs have been made by people from that park. And over on the left you can see some of the people have been, the number of times they've tried. So VA3WEX has done 11 attempts in that particular park. BXG has done 3, and SVQ, which is me, I've also done 3. So there you go. That's the very, very simple part of it. Now if I go back up to the map again, if I click on the map, you'll see it blows the map up, and there's your plus button there. So you can go right down and zoom in. So there's your park. You can move the map around a little bit. There's your park. You can see your access roads. I can blow it up even one more time. There we go. You can see your parking lot, your access roads, exactly where it is, the junction, everything you need to go out and check that park out. And I always say check a park out first, because you never know different times of the year if it's going to be open or what the conditions are like, especially if, for instance, it's just a dirt road into it. So there you go. That's a very simple way to find the park that you need. Now I mentioned that several of the parks, well, certainly provincial and the conservation areas, do charge an entrance fee. However, in Ontario, at least around the Ottawa area, if you have some proof that you're a veteran, then in those cases you can get in for free during the week, so weekdays only, but it's well worth having. And you can simply apply for this card here, which is your veteran service card. You can get it from DND, and I will put up here, I will put the web address for those that want to do it. Now once you've done all of this and you've written everything down and you follow the rules for what POTA says is what information you need in order to get credit and in order to give other ham radio operators credit, then you go back and make sure you record all the information correctly. You can do it in a paper log, you can do it on your iPad, using some of the ham radio applications that are out there, or like I say, a lot of us just use paper logs, and when we come back we transfer that information to our main log on our computer, save it as an ADIF file, and you're in business. It takes very little time. So what do? Well, you go back in. You have to be a member, obviously. Look under your name and your profile. Go down to My Log Uploads, and you press that button. That brings up this page, and you can see there's some of the ones that I've uploaded there. So you can just follow the instructions here. They tell you exactly how to do it. It's very simple, very straightforward. And once you've done that, it will take a number of hours in some cases, sometimes almost instantly, for your log to be uploaded and for you to get word as to whether or not it is being accepted. So obviously on some weekends where it's very, very busy, you might wait a while. During the week I find it's exceptionally fast. And you'll get something like this. It'll say processed. So they will tell you whether or not they've accepted your contacts. So you have to make sure you do exactly what they ask. And again, that's in some of their videos and some of the information they request, and you just get it done. That's the only way you will get credit for activating a park, and that's the only way the people who hunted you and spoke to you will get credit, because they can't upload anything. It's all up to you. So it's up to you to be as accurate as possible with what you do, and to do it reasonably quick, so they're not sitting around waiting for 2, 3, 4, 5 days for you to essentially upload your information, because many of them are looking for awards at the same time. So that's basically it. It's an intro, and I read a basic intro into activating parks and with POTA and what it's all about. And I sincerely hope you had a good time. I hope you learned something from the video. And like I said, if you've been doing parks for a while, there's probably not a heck of a lot of information in this that you don't know. But it's really aimed at the first timer. It's aimed at the new hams who are just starting out. So that's it for now. 73 from Victor Echo 3 Sierra Victor Quebec, otherwise known as the Shaky Key. Have a great day.